Inside this box is the world's smallest flare gun. I thought this was really cool and I reached out to miniaturearmy.com and asked them to send me one. There's not very much video out there of this actually firing, and so you're gonna see today what this thing can actually do. It's the Berloque pistol. We're out here in the beautiful frozen Shenley Park. We'll test this out, see if it actually has some nice kick to it. Here's our beautiful flares. It's handmade. So Mother Nature has to provide us a place where we can actually load this thing. So this is like the little barrel portion. There's even a little lock here that holds it. So I'm not gonna do that just yet. I feel like this is one of those videos where they're making like a tiny cheeseburger for a mouse, except we're looking at like really small pinfire rounds. This is a yellow flare because it has a Y stamped into it. So which one do you think would be the brightest? Maybe a white or red flare?
Do a red one.
Alright, so this one's got an R stamped into it. So I'm guessing that you put this in first, like so. So I'm pretty sure that this way this works with it being a pinfire round is that the hammer actually doesn't hit the back of the cartridge, it hits this little pin right at the top. And so we're gonna load in the flare. There's actually a lock here, you can see. That is what you have to press in. I'm gonna put the pinky on it so I don't lose it, because if I lose this in the snow, I don't think I'm ever gonna find this thing. And we'll go ahead and load in this. Alright, so we're looking around and we're not really sure how far this thing actually fires, because a lot of the videos are just on Instagram, or some people kind of just like using their cell phones to take videos. So it may be going way far into the air, which I'm doubtful, or it could just be going like 20 feet. Whoa! Holy crap! That thing went all the way onto the ice. That went at least like, what would you say, 100 feet, 50 feet?
I'd say that's about 75 feet.
75 feet, right in the middle. I'm so impressed.
The sound it made too.
And look, there's some smoke over there.
That could seriously get somebody's attention.
I can't even I thought this thing was a total gimmick. We're gonna shoot it straight up in the air and see. All right, so to load out the cartridge, I guess you need to use this little rod here, because I'm sure it's expanded a little bit. I'm not exactly sure. Look, you can see the barrel's a little bit charred here. Boop. Seems like it would have so much less power, because I mean, how much gunpowder could you actually fit in here? All right, there's green. This one looks like so maybe it's orange. This is white. Let's do green.
Ooh.
Ready? Green, like the Christmas spirit. There we go. Load up our little flare here. So now that we know that this thing isn't a complete gimmick, like holy crap, that thing went probably 75 feet. We're gonna shoot this straight up in the air and see, let's say you're, I don't know, in some sort of emergency situation, like you could carry this literally in your pocket. Maybe we can make some sort of little container to hold all that stuff instead of carrying around a little wooden box. I mean, with 3D printing, there's a lot of customization that can be done. So leave a comment below if you think we should try and incorporate this into some sort of survival, little Altoids tin survival kit, or maybe something custom. I feel like I want to create some sort of like James Bond gadget that shoots out like a little device that could expand it outwards into my hand, like you see in those Wild West movies.
That was kind of anticlimactic. Really? That's funny though. 3, 2, 1. That's so cool. Woohoo! That looked sweet.
Initially, I thought this was kind of just like a gimmick. I really thought it was gonna be probably less powerful than a Nerf gun. It was just gonna fart out the barrel and it was gonna go 10 feet. Well, holy crap, when this thing fired off for the first time, I couldn't believe my eyes. Like, I'm looking through like an LED panel. I thought it was just like some malfunction. It went flying across and skipped onto the ice, probably about 75 feet, and it's consistent. I thought maybe it was just a fluke. We tried it a few times, as you saw. The lighting may not be perfect, but I think it, like, I don't know, maybe it did work out because of the way that the flares sort of lit up in the darkness. Super excited about this thing. I can't wait to work with some other projects, maybe incorporate it into some sort of survival tin, other sorts of gadgets that I can create. But you can pick one of these up yourself. They do sell them. They're completely legal. There's not enough actual gunpowder to do any real damage. Overall, I think this is a really awesome product. It's definitely not a gimmick.
So if I'm stranded in the woods and there's a rescue chopper flying overhead, you think this thing would get their attention?
Yeah, I think definitely. Maybe scare off an animal. It's just a fun thing to have in your back pocket, and it's not a joke. I was completely surprised. So maybe this thing could save your life someday, who knows? Hopefully it doesn't come down to it. I don't really know how I was loading this thing. My fingers are pretty much numb at this point, so maybe you need to invest in some actual good gloves to be able
Some mini flare gloves?
What's that?
Some mini flare loading gloves?
Yeah, or like find someone with the world's smallest hands. So I know a lot of you are looking for DIY gadgets, and don't worry, there's gonna be plenty more of those in the future. But come on, this thing is freaking amazing. It doesn't take a genius to realize that there is some amazing craftsmanship here, and I want to just show you kind of an unboxing if you want to get a closer look. Alright, so you can see up close there is this engraving, looks like a little rabbit, and I thought that was Chinese at first, but it looks like some sort of, I don't know, corn stalk or something, and then PTB, looks like the initials on the other side. You have, again, this little plant thingy and some sort of deer. So you can pull back the hammer, and this little piece here acts like a spring, and when you push that down, you can kind of tell how this design works. There's this little cut out C shape there. If you look real close, you can see that portion in the center is what's locking there. If you don't press this down, it won't close. So that's a nice little safety feature so it doesn't accidentally close and fire. So you have to press that in, close this, and you would screw on this tiny barrel here, load in one of these flares, which it looks like there is some black powder there that's kind of compressed. So you want to lay this in first, and there's a bunch of different colors, Y being stamped for a yellow flare. Oh, and there's already one in there. Now these are the 12 by 2mm pinfire rounds. So small, I don't even know how to handle these things. So the way that these work, there is this tiny little pin, hence the name pinfire round, and there is a primer that's actually on the bottom where the hammer strikes down and smacks the pin into this small primer. Then there's a small charge of black powder that ignites the flare here, which you can see there's a little bit of black powder there too. I'm guessing that's like the charge that sends this thing out the barrel. It's pretty simple. You can see the little pinfire little portion on the top here kind of fits in that groove. And then you press this in and close. Now I know a lot of you want to see these DIY gadgets and how-to projects, but I mean this thing is freaking amazing, and it was handmade. I can literally see some old man grandpa in his basement with like 1,000-year-old tools making something like this. It's not something that I really have in my tool arsenal as far as skill level, and it's not something that I can really learn or teach anyone at this time. So I'm thinking about this as a tool, and I want to build upon it. So we have 3D printing, I have laser cutting. What I want to do is create a prototype that will take all of this boxiness and condense it into some sort of Swiss Army knife where you have a flare gun on the actual little pocket gadget. So maybe something else, I don't know, maybe just fitting it all into an Altoids tin and creating some other gadgets to fit in there for right now. But I want to know what you think about this and how we can improve upon it. So leave a comment below. That's all I have for today. Thank you for watching. And as always, take it easy.